In my last Mega Man Dual Override video, I talked about some of the things Mega Man Dual Override needs to get right, and one of my talking points in that video was ways that this game could stand out from the other Mega Man games. And I proposed various ideas of how to do this, like introducing a new number of robot masters, like making it so that there's more, or they could add in like exploration elements like in Mega Man 7 or Mega Man and Bass. But something that I didn't mention that they could, should, and probably will add is other playable characters. This game is likely going to have Bass and especially Proto Man, given that we heard his whistle at the end of the trailer. So, yeah, today I will talk about that, but not only the possibility of them being in there, I will specifically be going over how they could play in the game, because I feel like there's lots of different options they could do. So, let's just get into it. All right, first let's go over Proto Man. So, there are a few different ways that Proto Man could be implemented, but I am going to start with the most likely way that he will be implemented. I imagine he's going to play pretty much identically to how he played in Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10, where he is just like pretty much like Mega Man, but he can only fire 2 shots at a time instead of Mega Man's 3. And when he jumps, he puts up a shield and can deflect projectiles. And he also has the charge shot and slide, but that's a given since Mega Man has them back now, thank God. So I think that's probably the most likely answer to how he'll play, since they kind of solidified his gameplay style. They tried something out in Mega Man 9, and then it really worked, so they just kept it from Mega Man 10. The only thing I do think will go away is the stupid bullshit double damage that he had. And also, something worth noting is that in that game, Proto Man had the Mega Man 4 charge shot, so they'll either keep him like that, where he has the Mega Man 4 charge shot, and it's just, like, weaker, but it's, like, a different option, or they could have it be so that they upgrade his charge shot to the same as Mega Man's. They might do something like what they did in Powered Up, where he has just super overpowered abilities, where he can just like shoot a charge shot as like every single shot without charging. But I don't think they'd do that. That was really overpowered. But I think another option that they could do is that they could do something different. Like, think about this. In Mega Man 9, Mega Man was kind of returned to his original gameplay status, so to speak, where he can only shoot pellets and he can't slide or charge shot. But Proto Man was kind of the solution to that, of like, hey, you can kind of play as the old Mega Man now, where he has a charge shot and he has a slide. So I think they might do something kind of reversed, maybe. Like, Proto Man instead is the one who doesn't have a slide and doesn't have a charge shot. I think that could be interesting, because then it's like you get to kind of choose between the different styles, kind of like in Mega Man 9. And it would make sense, too, because Proto Man is named Proto Man literally because he's like a prototype Mega Man. So yeah, it does actually make a lot of sense for him to be sort of like how Mega Man used to be. And I think this could be a really interesting direction to take it. And while these two are the most likely outcomes, and while those ones are the most likely outcomes, I think it could be interesting to go over the different ways he could potentially play. They could make it like Mega Man 7, where he can block projectiles when stationary. I really don't want this, though, because the Proto Shield was really bad in Mega Man 7. Or they could make it where he blocks projectiles only while stationary and only while jumping. I think that could be interesting. Or they could make it so that he has a dedicated Proto Shield button and he can put it up whenever he wants. But yeah, those are just like the different ways I think he could play. And I think those are all of the most likely options, and those are all of the options that I could think of. So now let's move on to Bass and how he could play. All right, next we're going to talk about Bass, who doesn't have as much potential as Proto Man with like the things you could imagine that they could do with him, but there's still some interesting stuff there. They did kind of nail down his playstyle already, but I'll try and think of some new and unique ways that they could incorporate him. Let's get the elephant out of the room right away. So, Bass is either going to play exactly like he played in Mega Man and Bass, or he is going to play exactly like he played in Mega Man 10. The most likely option is he's going to play exactly like he did in Mega Man 10. And here's why. In Mega Man and Bass, he could dash, double jump, dash jump, and even double jump after he dash jumped. So he was pretty powerful. And he could also shoot in 7 different directions. So yeah, he was like really overpowered. So they actually nerfed him in Mega Man 10 and got rid of his double jump, which just feels really awkward. I liked how he played in Mega Man and Bass. Some people say it's overpowered, but no, I think it was perfect. He feels really floaty, and that's not usually something you get from a Mega Man game. So I think he could offer an interesting play style as his Mega Man and Bass incarnation, and I'm hoping they go with that, but they're probably going to have him just play like his Mega Man 10 incarnation did. But that's okay. That is still pretty good, I guess. And they could end up giving him a completely different style. Like, I don't know, they could just like completely overhaul him in a different way and make him just like play completely differently. It's hard to envision how that would be, but they could make him closer to Mega Man, kind of like how he was in Mega Man 7, where he had like the laser instead of like pellets, and he had this massive, cool looking skull charge shot. So they could do something like that where he has like where he can only fire one lemon at a time, but instead it's like a huge laser and it has a big hitbox and like pierces things, and then like a more powerful charge shot or something. It would be cool to see how they could reimagine him in different ways like that. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this discussion on potential playable characters for Mega Man Doll Override, and I hope you enjoyed this little speculation video. I sure had fun making it, and coming up with all of the crazy potential ideas that could happen in Mega Man Dual Override. And make sure you tell me in the comments what you would really like to see with all of these playable characters. And that's it. Bye.